November 13, 2022. A quiet night in Moscow, Idaho, shattered forever. For University of Idaho students, Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were brutally murdered inside their off-campus rental home. It was a massacre that stunned the nation and sparked a months-long investigation filled with confusion, terror, and endless speculation. Now, almost 3 years later, prosecutors have finally laid out the gruesome details of what really happened that night and who's responsible. And it's worse than anyone imagined. According to prosecutors, Bryan Kohberger, a criminology PhD student at nearby Washington State University, had been stalking the victims for months. Cell tower data shows he visited the neighborhood of the victim's house at least 12 times prior to the killings. And on the night of the murders, everything was carefully planned. At around 3 a.m., Kohberger turned off his cell phone and drove his white Hyundai Elantra from Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho. Cameras captured his car near the house multiple times, circling the block as if waiting for the perfect moment. Then, through a sliding glass door at the back of the house, he entered, and the nightmare began. Madison and Kaylee were found in the same bed on the 3rd floor, their bodies riddled with stab wounds. Prosecutors say they were likely killed first. Then he moved to the 2nd floor, where Xana and Ethan were also attacked. Ethan was sleeping in Xana's room. Both of them put up a fight. Autopsy results later revealed Xana had defensive wounds on her hands, suggesting she fought back with everything she had. One of the most chilling details? A surviving roommate told police she saw a masked man dressed in black leaving the house after hearing crying and strange noises. She didn't call 911, not until nearly 8 hours later. What tied it all to Kohberger? A knife sheath left behind at the crime scene. It had DNA on the snap. That DNA was traced back to a sample collected from Kohberger's family's trash in Pennsylvania. A perfect match. His car, his phone activity, and his background in criminal justice, everything led straight to him. And this wasn't random. According to prosecutors, Kohberger meticulously cleaned his car after the murders. He removed trash from his apartment at odd hours. He even changed his car's license plate just days after the killings. Authorities said his behavior was consistent with someone trying to eliminate evidence. In a shocking twist, Bryan Kohberger pleaded guilty to all 4 murders in a courtroom just days ago, on July 2, 2025. He accepted a plea deal that spared him the death penalty but sentenced him to 4 consecutive life terms in prison without the possibility of parole. Prosecutors told the court that each victim suffered multiple stab wounds, but there were no signs of sexual assault. The attack was cold, calculated, and methodical. Kohberger knew what he was doing. He studied crime. He knew how investigations worked. And he thought he could outsmart the system. But justice caught up. And while some of the victims' families expressed relief, others were furious. Kaylee Goncalves' family publicly stated they were beyond furious with the plea deal. They wanted the death penalty. They wanted Kohberger to pay with his life. They believe sparing him robs them of true justice. And here's what's even more chilling. The motive still isn't clear. Kohberger had no personal connection to the victims. He never spoke to them, didn't know them. So why them? Why that house? Why that night? Was it an experiment? A sick fantasy? Prosecutors said it may have been a crime driven by ego, obsession, or some twisted desire to commit the perfect murder. The knife he used was never found. There are still over 100 sealed court documents that might be revealed after sentencing on July 23, 2025. And that means more disturbing details could still be on the way. What's clear is this: Bryan Kohberger planned this attack. He stalked his victims. He entered their home in the dead of night. And he left 4 young people dead, shattering countless lives. And yet, to this day, he's shown no visible remorse. No apology. No explanation. Nothing. This case shook a quiet college town. It broke families. It reminded all of us how evil can sometimes wear the face of intelligence, charm, and even education. As more information comes out and we get closer to sentencing, we'll continue bringing you updates on this case and others like it. If you want to stay informed on major criminal trials and high-profile investigations, along with major celebrity legal drama, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Your support helps us dive deeper and bring you more of the truth. There's more coming on the Idaho case, and we'll be here to break it all down.